Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I hope everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I wanted to give you guys an update on the Philadelphia Eagles going into tomorrow. And yeah, should be a lot of fun. Sunday Night Football is right around the corner. We're getting there, and we're getting ready for it. So hope you guys enjoy this, and let's get straight into the news.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. So, first of all, the news that we kind of have to talk about, everyone's kind of flipping out about, I think it's Devonta Smith with the knee injury, that he was limited in practice. A.J. Brown dealing with an illness right now. If the A.J. Brown illness was really that bad to where, like, it was a really bad illness, or it was the flu, or it was really something really bad, I think we would find out about it, and I think, he wouldn't be playing, or, so he wasn't at practice. So I wouldn't really worry about this too much. I don't know how severe the knee injury for Devonta Smith is. So, I mean, as of right now, it looks like they are going to play Sunday. It hasn't been reported that. From what I could see, I don't think it's much of a big deal. They rested a lot of guys this week. I'd say the whole offensive line rested. Slay rested. Bradbury rested. A lot of guys rested this week, which is good. You know, they got to give these guys rest. These guys don't have to travel this week, which is a great thing. They stay in Philadelphia to face the Green Bay Packers on Sunday night, which is great. So I wouldn't really worry about this too much. You know, obviously if both of them don't play this week, yeah, this offense is definitely taking a big hit. But this offense really needs to, kind of resurge itself back to what it should be, because last week was not good at all. Too many mistakes, penalties, just not a great thing. We know how this offense played last week, and it was nothing that I was very happy about. So hopefully this Sunday we get back on track offensively. Secondly, we have roster moves. It looks like the interior defensive line is going to get upgraded once more, and with more depth at defensive tackle with Anthony Rush signed from the practice squad to the active roster, which is great. You know, Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, Ndamukong Suh, Linval Joseph, Milton Williams, no Marlon T, no Jordan Davis, and now you have Anthony Rush now. So now you have 6 defensive tackles as of right now, which is good. The more depth you have, the better it's going to be. Kind of want to see how they do the snap count with Linval Joseph. I think Linval only had like 26 and Suh only had like 16. So I'm hoping that increases just a little bit more. And I think our interior, because I'm loving this interior right now. And damn, like with Jordan Davis, when Jordan Davis comes back, forget about it. I mean, this is going to be crazy up front, especially against the run. Definitely you're facing A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones this week. So, those are two very good running backs. We have more running backs to face. Still got Derrick Henry, still got Saquon Barkley 2 times. So there's a lot going on. And we have to shut down this run a lot better. I thought they did a fantastic job last week defensively, not just for the coverage, but man, you kind of shut Jonathan Taylor up after the first quarter. Pretty much. Jonathan Taylor had, 80-something yards on us, but I knew he was going to get some yards on us. There's going to be running backs to get some yards on us, but at the end of the day, I think the Eagles are going to start to shut some running backs down. I thought they did a good job against him last week, which is a really good thing. So more interior depth to that defensive line is definitely something I am not going to complain about as of right now. Third, I want to go over the Cowboys-Giants game. The Giants went into this game, really got embarrassed by the Lions, and I'm going to be as non-biased as possible because I think, the Cowboys are a team right now that are trying to, since Dak has got back, they have won a good amount of games. I think they 4-1 since he's been back. I forgot how many games they've won with him back. And they've done a good job so far. I think it was 28-20, so it was a very close score. Very surprisingly, I thought the Cowboys were going to blow out the Giants. I mean, the Giants had 6 injuries. No Wan'Dale Robinson, no Adoree Jackson. They lost both their starting cornerbacks. I mean, at this point, they're missing some valuable pieces, which a lot of throws were made, and obviously, the Giants caught a lot as well. So, the cornerbacks were just way too bad. I think this is kind of the first game for Wink Martindale where you kind of struggled a little bit because there's not enough pieces for them to cover up these injuries right now. But they had these backup cornerbacks on these starting receivers, and they got blown out pretty much the whole entire game. But the Cowboys are still like you blow the Vikings out, with 40 points last week, and I knew that they were never going to do this again. I know that they're not going to go into the next game and they're going to do this to the Giants. And I know they're going to say that it's a division game, it's supposed to be close, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But from what they did to the Vikings last week, I knew it wasn't so true to be that true when it comes to the domination that they were supposed to give the Giants, which I thought I had the Cowboys winning this game today anyway, regardless. Even when the Giants had the lead at half, I didn't really make a big deal about it. At the end of the day, the Eagles need to take care of their own business down the road. That's just the way it goes. We will have our chance against the Cowboys. We will beat down the Cowboys Christmas Eve, okay? That we will get our chance to get our hands on them, and get this thing going. As much as I don't want a game on Christmas Eve because I like enjoying the damn holidays, I'm hoping to enjoy it a little bit more that night. So it should be, or that afternoon, it should be a lot of fun. But from what Dak has done so far, and look, this is non-biased as possible because I think Dak, when Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, puts Dak in a really good position where they kind of balance that run and then they kind of mix in the play action and a lot of these deep balls and kind of really throw it out there, I think that's where Dak looks very good. And I don't think the consistency was better in this game. Obviously, I think at the second half, they ran the ball more. It seems like a lot of games the Cowboys don't run enough, and then by the second half, they're starting to run a lot more. Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, and they're doing a fantastic job doing that. And it kills teams. And for the New York Giants, they just didn't have enough. They just didn't have enough, and they couldn't stop the Cowboys. And offensively, they just can't do anything. No Wan'Dale Robinson, which he's definitely a big deal. No Shepard, still out. Kenny Galladay's nothing. I mean, other than that, there's really nobody else that's really doing anything. Slayton's the only one that has, I think, close to 300 yards. He's the only receiver that actually has stats for the season. And Wan'Dale Robinson's done a good job too, but they don't throw his way as much. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. It's just the Cowboys they're very inconsistent. Being the Giants 28-20, it didn't make me think, oh my God, like they didn't really. I didn't really take much out of it, to be honest. And it's not their fault because the Giants are hurt. There's nothing they could do, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, they just had a lot of injuries, and I thought, the Dallas definitely played better in the second half. No doubt. When you pass, when Kellen Moore puts way too much passes on Dak, he starts to struggle. There were some passes that were very questionable as well with him. But I think overall, once they run the crap out of the ball, and that's what the Cowboys got to do every game. They run the crap out of the ball, and then they kind of mix in a little bit of play action, some standard shotgun passes, or whatever the case may be with that team. Okay, and I think it's very Dak becomes very successful under Kellen Moore in that aspect when he passes over 38 to 40 over 40 times. That's when he's going to struggle when he passes way too much. So it didn't make me say that I fear the Cowboys. It didn't say anything to me like anything special. I saw that Vikings game, and I said they're dominating way too much for a specific reason, and I think the reason they dominated so much was because the Vikings were coming off of a very emotional win. And when teams come off of emotional wins, they have a letdown game, and that's what usually happens with teams, and they literally had no fight. I mean, no fight. They lost their left tackle to a concussion, and pretty much everything fell apart right after that. So with the Dallas Cowboys, it should be run, and mix in the pass, and I think they can win games that way. But Kellen Moore is not consistent with that. As I've seen Cowboys games, he's just not consistent, and that's just the way it is. From switching from Cooper Rush to Dak Prescott, two different quarterbacks, two different skill sets. They have been successful with both, but beating the Giants 28-20, it's not even the score. And I'm only saying this because I've had Cowboys fans coming at me about the Eagles and comparing when we beat a team, they scored more points, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what the scores look like. It's just the eye test of what I see from teams, offenses, defenses. And look, the Cowboys defense is good. There's just has to be a blueprint of, how to defend against that Cowboys pass rush. And I think the Eagles did that very well the first game. Okay. They had the same players on defense when we faced them. It has nothing to do with Cooper Rush, even though that's the only difference of that game. And obviously it's out of our control because that's just the way it is. But at the end of the day, they didn't impress me at all against the Giants. I thought it was going to be a blowout. I thought it was going to be 35, 40 points, something like that. And I thought they would have done a lot better. But I can see that the coaching is not consistent, and they have to make adjustments. And like every team has to make adjustments during games, but I don't get why they go back to passing too much and not run. You have 2 running backs that can literally tire out defenses, and then you mix in that pass. They have no chance. Teams will have no chance against them. And if they get OBJ, which I feel like they're going to get him, it's not going to make a difference because OBJ, I think, is going to be more of a role player. The guy's not even back a full year from surgery, okay? Literally, like, his best game last year was, I know it's last year. Okay, the Super Bowl was probably his best game, and I got to say, I was happy for him because he's just had bad luck and going to the Browns. And then, so I feel like he will be a Cowboy. From what I could see, he's going to be a Cowboy at this point. If the players are tweeting at him nonstop and he doesn't, and all this happens and they're all talking to him, like they're tweeting at him and texting him and doing all this, okay, and they don't get him, it's going to be a joke. You know what I mean? I don't see him going back to the Giants. I just don't see it, even with how the announcers talked about it, where Saquon Barkley talked about it and said, oh, if he comes back, great. They never said, oh, I texted him. We were talking last. There was really nothing that really told me that he really wants to go back to New York. It's showing more that he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy most likely. And obviously an upgrade for the receiver core, but how much of an upgrade? How are they going to treat him in the offense? That's the problem with OBJ since he left the Giants, and how the Browns utilized him, how obviously the Rams utilized him, and he had issues with it. He wasn't getting enough playing time. And then by the end of the year, they started to, put him more into that offense with the Rams last year. So, there's a lot of different things that go into it. But do I think it makes a difference? Yeah, it adds. There's no doubt. But are they going to make Odell the main focal point? Probably not. Probably not going to happen. More of a role player to me if he's with the Cowboys right now. And it's really, like I said, it's all up to Kellen Moore what he does. But like I said, they didn't impress me against the Giants at all. Not impressive. I feel like the Eagles are one of the very few teams that know how to defend against the Cowboys, and I thought they did a good job the first game against their defense. And obviously, it's going to be a rematch for the second divisional game, so it should be a lot of fun when that time comes, Christmas Eve. So very excited for that. And lastly, I kind of want to talk about, so there is going to be a game that's flexed. So the rumors are right now that the Giants-Eagles at MetLife, which is the December 12th game, I think that's the first matchup between the Eagles and Giants at MetLife. I think that game is going to be flexed. So far, that's the rumor, that game is going to be flexed into a night game, which is pretty cool. We've already had, 4 or 5? We got so many primetime games, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So, and once the playoff games happen, we'll have more primetime there, which is good. Or I'll go into the nighttime whenever, that, depending if the Eagles, what seed they have at that moment, and what happens. So, I'm very excited for that. And obviously, the Eagles haven't faced the Giants yet. It should be very interesting. I was checking if the Vikings won against the Patriots, and they did. So, obviously, they're coming back. They're 9-2 right now. And, obviously, Dallas beating them last week definitely helped us with first seed, which is a great thing. Eagles have to take care of their own business going forward, and that's it. And that's it. We're ready to go. So, all right, you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you guys on the next one. Leave a comment in the comment section below on what did you think of the Dallas Cowboys, the Giants-Cowboys game on Thanksgiving. Did Dallas impress you? Do you think OBJ is going to make a difference over there? Are you worried about the Eagles against the Packers this Sunday? How are you feeling about the offense? How are you feeling about Brady? Marcus Brady joining and kind of helping Gannon with this defense as well. I know we made the video on it the other day, but I kind of want to get your points on it, and let me know in the comment section below. I will see you guys on the next update. Fly Eagles Fly. I can't say the words right. Shake Squad up, follow. So peace out, guys. Peace.